Good morning or good afternoon, wherever and whenever you are out there. This is Steve Sullivan with the YouTube website, newly created and in the state of process. Sully's short sermons that don't suck too bad. But I realize I have a lot of other stuff in my brain that needs to come out in some form or fashion. So I'm going to add to the least weekly, or well, hopefully weekly, sermon content with Monday musings, daily musings about things that excite, annoy me, um, create curiosity in me, or whatever. So today we're going to talk about the top five. Right now we're in the middle of we're always, I guess, in the middle of a fast food war. But we're gonna talk about the recent emergence of the fast food meal deal war. I'm gonna rank my top five. I think that the community thing is open. You can email me at communityveterancoordinator@gmail.com semi-legally, or you can just make comments. I think I'm not sure, still figuring this out as I go. But I've got my top five and an honorable mention that I'll just gonna roll through here real quickly. Top five: Sonic, Wendy's, Burger King, Arby's, McDonald's, and honorable mention is the Dairy Queen. So Sonic is number one. Let me say first of all that there's multiple criteria that go into how I rank these, and with gas being $9 a gallon, that certainly plays one of them, and that's probably the primary reason Sonic is number one for me is its proximity and the fact that I can get there quickly and efficiently and only spend 75 cents worth of gas to do so. But I like Sonic for a number of reasons. It's kind of refused to do some of the modern things that some of the larger chains have done, like advertise, change, morph in some of the ways that others have. The menu stays pretty much the same. Doesn't fluctuate a lot. You don't get multiple questions in the drive-through. We'll do a separate one of these on how to navigate a drive-through later, so I won't get into that. But I like Sonic. I like Sonic because it's ice. Most people do. Diet Coke with ice is a daily part of my routine. Sort of temporary mecca that I use to go daily to get my Diet Coke and ice. As I said, I like it because it's close. And I like it because they dropped this $7.50 meal deal. And a year ago, you couldn't find a meal deal with a 9-foot pole. I mean, everybody, you went to eat fast food, and it was like $12 for anything, for a meal deal of anything. And I was like constantly slashing my fries and shrinking my Diet Cokes and doing whatever I could to get it under $10. A kind of a personal conviction of mine that no meal deal should ever cost over $10. At least not outside of California and New York. So I was not having much luck with that. I was like, screw it. You can go to Chili's and eat their whatever the hell it is, 3 for $10 thing. I mean, you're going to pay for a tip and roll the dice on a waitress, but other than that, it's a better deal than what I was dropping at a fast food restaurant. So Sonic comes out with I believe it's $7.50 meal deal. You can hit it about 80% of the time, and it's a legitimate. You get a buttload of food for your money. That's for sure. We won't speak necessarily of quality, taste, things like that could matter, and probably should, but in my case, not the top of my priority when dealing with fast food in general. Anyway, so this is like a $7 meal deal, and for $7, you're looking squarely at a Sonic burger, which is a legitimate Sonic burger. They haven't shrunk it. They haven't done something to it to alter it in some way that you're not getting as much as you normally would. So for $7.50, you get a burger, you get some nugs in there, some nugget action, 3 or 4 nuggets. You get your choice of tot or fries. Personally, I'm a tot man. And then you get a Coke. You get a regular size Coke. So it's like I said, it's a lot of food for your money. The burger can be a rectum rocket. It's hit and miss on that, but for the most part, the one I go to is awesome. Customer service is great. Burgers are pretty consistent and fresh and hot. They do weigh more than my left shoe, so there's that. But and you don't get a chicken option, so it's beef for nothing. And I'm trying to get my beef down to under 3 beef meals a day. It would be hard, I guess, to have a beef breakfast. I don't think there's any beef-based cereals or even a beef-based bacon. But anyway, at least get it down to 1.5 beefs a day. So you get a tasty meal there for $7.50. You got a singular drive-through. You've got only have one window you have to negotiate. It's not often crowded. So for that reason, and the reason I frequent it so frequently, it comes in at number one. Number two on the list is Wendy's, and Wendy's has historically been tasty to me. I like the square meat. I've always liked the square meat because it's different from the other restaurants. Even as a child, I was drawn to the square Wendy's meat. So you get square meat, you get a tasty burger, and for a while it dropped kind of off my list because they were, again, the meal deal was shooting you up to around 11, 12 bones, and they dropped the biggie. They dropped a menu on you, the biggie menu. It's a $4, $6, and $8 biggie menu, and honestly falls to the number 2 slot because of the complexity with which it is to actually order on the biggie menu as I did today. There's a $4 that has about 9 things that you can get. All of them have like 9 things you can get. 4, 6, and 8 biggie. And it's a rising senior. It's difficult to actually read those in the allotted time that your drive-thru employee wants you to have them read. But you got burgers. You do have a chicken option occasionally. You got the double burger. You got a bacon burger. You got a chicken option. And again, so you get a sandwich, but it's not a full-size single. It's not Dave's single. It's a modified burger. But that is what it is. You get fries, and again you get nuggets, 3 or 4 nuggets, and a sauce. I don't know if there's just been a something to do with the Strait of Hormuz. They're allowing nuggets through the Strait of Hormuz at a higher rate than they are oil at this time. I don't know exactly why nuggets are appearing in our meal deals. That's a phenomenon that has not occurred in my lifetime, and hopefully only in the United States. We can only hope that we're the only ones privy to such an awesome thing as having nuggets thrown in your meal deal. But they're in there, and you get your sauce options like Sonic, barbecue, or horny mustard. Nothing else, no ranch to deal with, nothing like that. Simple two sauces with your nugs. You for the $4, I think you get 2 of those things. So you get maybe a burger or fry, but nothing to drink and no nugs. For the $6, maybe you get 4. Maybe the 4 you get 3. The 6 you get 4. The 8 you get whatever you want, kind of thing. I don't know. Again, very, very confusing. But being patient is always the key to any drive-through success. Is being patient and taking your time and taking the drive-through person's time. And we realize, those of us that have worked in a drive-through at some point in our lives, always be courteous, because they can, as my wife says, they can do to their food, do to our food what they may when we don't go inside. We're not visibly able to see how the food is prepared. So always courteous, always calm, and it's okay to stop and request. I had an old friend that in my youth group that she said she used to stop and say, I want French fries and I expect to wait. So giving them a heads up that, by God, you want your tots fresh. Or it's not like you've also got the mozzarella option. I forgot about that. And the difference between a mozzarella that has been sitting there since the Biden administration and one that's fresh is just astronomical. So you want fresh regardless of where you go to get your drive-through food. So that's number 2 for me. Wendy's, that's number 2 behind Sonic. Burger King, if we were going on taste alone, with the Whopper, has always been the best burger, I think, of the fast food industry, fast food pantheon, if I may call it that, because Burger King Whoppers always have claimed to be flame grilled, and I believe that. I've never witnessed it with my own eyes, but they taste more like a burger that has been grilled by somebody who knows what the hell they're doing. So unlike myself, who is always often faking it, but or lying about it, frankly. So Burger King would be number 1, except for the fact that, as far as I know, they have not joined in the battle of the reduction of meal deal war that has taken over every other restaurant in our country, quite frankly, that I know of. When I speak of fast food, I'm eliminating all those cute sandwich shops like Jimmy John's and Potbellies and Firehouse Subs and all those that might be considered fast food. They might reluctantly call themselves fast food, but they cost as much as a set of irons and a set of golf irons to get food there. I'm not gonna do that. Rarely am I gonna do that. You combo that stuff up and you're way beyond double figures. So I'm sticking with the cheap stuff here. So that's Burger King at number 3, because they refuse to offer me a meal deal, but they're still just darn tasty, and you get the onion ring option with a zesty sauce tossed in. Arby's, number 4. Again, if taste was, this would be top 2 if we went with taste, because a slice, there's nothing quite like a beef and cheddar. We know that. Everyone accepts that. I've worked at Arby's, and the beef and cheddar is the supreme top 3 fast food sandwiches known to man. I'll eat a classic roast beef in a minute and enjoy it, but I want my beef and cheddar. And they're aware of that. They know they have a sacred beef and cheddar, which is why they don't feature it in their meal deal. And though they did refuse to do for so many years, I think they were the last ones on board with okay, shit, we got to drop the cost of this. People are getting food for $7.50 and we're charging $12. So they came out with a $7.50 box, and I appreciate the box because that spills way less chow in my vehicle than would any of the others, because you got a sturdy cardboard box that you could even reuse if you wanted to, and it's got a multitude of things in it as well. Used to have the classic beef. When it first came out, I was excited, I was pumped, I was ready to go to Arby's because I thought, I'm gonna eat a classic roast beef, and whatever the hell they put in that box, I don't care. I'm getting out of here for $7.50. I can return to my Arby's habits and feel good about it. So soon though, what else is in there? Let me go ahead and cover what else is in there. You've got the curly fries, can't be beat, hands down. Go to the grocery store and buy a sack of curly fries and eat that stuff. Curly fries, a good hot curly fry to me, Beats any fry anywhere, any who. And feel free to contest me on that, and we'll go back and forth as need be. But you got the curly fries in there. You got two mozzarella sticks, and again, hit and miss on mozzarella sticks, preferably a hit. Two or three of those are thrown in there, and then you got this apple tart kind of dessert, which is foreign to just about all of the meal deals that are happening right now. And so I would have had this Arby's. I would have Arby's at number one, except for they quickly realized everybody loved their classic roast beef. Somehow, some algorithmic analyst or some machine rather said we're losing money on our roast beef. We need to get the roast beef out of the box and put in cod instead. So they put in a fish product, which was still very good. I went with the cod for a month, about a month maybe. 2 or 3 times I nailed the cod and was still happy, left there with a smile, no problem. I understand the lack of beef. And beef is your primary item of choice there, and they want to guard that a little bit. But then again, a couple months later, somehow cod went out of season. I don't think cod ever goes out of season. Sure as hell doesn't go out of season at Captain Disease. I mean, Captain Disease serves that cod, I believe. It serves it daily, yearly, decadely. So I didn't really buy into that. Cod out of season, I've heard a couple times. So they threw me to a chicken sandwich, my least favorite sandwich. I'll eat a chicken sandwich only because I'm trying to drop beef content. So for the benefit of my physician, I will still occasionally eat the Arby's, but it has dropped firmly into fourth place. Number 5 is McDonald's. McDonald's, again, small children, was always number one for all of us, or most of us. And they were the last, they just like last week came out with their meal deal. And that's, I may have to do some adjustments once I try that. But McDonald's for a long, the Big Mac still is, their primary sandwich. Big Mac meal deal is still going to set you back $11 or $12. And I'll be honest with you, I had an adverse experience with a Big Mac a few months ago because I try to make it home to the privacy of my own home to eat in front of the TV, to eat my meal deal, and because it's much less messy but I admit I've always got a hand in the sack by the time I get home. And so I wasn't about to just make it home. I couldn't make it home. It was a rough day. I couldn't make it home. I reached in and nailed my Big Mac. And for some reason, one of the patties sprung its way off my buntage and just leapt off my sandwich. And I'm embarrassed to say this, but let's just say it landed on what I remember it being a clean part of my floorboard. So clean was it, and so hungry was I, that I scooped it up and just ate a buck naked patty of meat, and it was not good. Something was awry, and it could have just been that patty. But it was a full month before I was climbing back up on the McDonald's ladder to get another Big Mac and try to restore the relationship as best I could. So you've got that. You've got McDonald's at number 5. It's making the list at all possibly it's just because of the senior coffee. Your senior. I'm a rising senior and started getting the senior coffee. Oh, you're a senior in high school, right? All the clever ways, as though I'm going to be offended by the fact that I'm a rising senior. I was hitting Starbucks at first for $6.50, but they give my dog a free pup cup, but you can afford to do that at $6.50 for a coffee. Then I went to Dunkin', and Dunkin' got you $3.13 for a senior adult coffee, but it was complicated. Usually it would involve management intervention, which is never good. And yes, ended up having a couple times just throwing me a free cold donut. Cannot microwave a donut. It's illegal in Dunkin' Donuts. I'm sure it's a North Carolina state law that prevents the microwavization, if I may use that word, of a donut. I don't know why that is the case, but a cold donut is not much better than a cold patty off the floor of your truck. It's just not that damn good. So again, that keeps McDonald's the bottom of the list, but the customer service, the one and the proximity, and the senior coffee for 99 cents is the primary reasons that it comes in at number 5. I want to know what your top 5 are. Let me know in the community section of this if you get a hold of this video by some chance. An honorable mention is Dairy Queen, but you know, you get a burger, you get a fry. Dairy Queen's not that great. Twice I applied there with no communication, a grudge that I've since let go, but still lingers in the back of my mind. And you also get the ice cream sundae that doesn't taste like it came from any cow and probably not from anything found in nature. So it only comes in as an honorable mention. But the top 5 as listed, hit me with your top 5. We'll get some discussion going, and this may fluctuate. This war's not over. I know Burger King's not sitting on their ass. They're not ready to take a number 3 spot on my list. They've got a CEO who's hammering the television ads saying, we listened to you, we got rid of the creepy Burger King guy, and the CEO is taking personal phone calls to the account of 35 million or 35,000, I don't remember. So they're trying to make amends, trying to make some kind of improvement to get higher up. I'm sure just on my list with my viewership now less than 10. So I'm sure that's what they're after. But take care. Hope you have a great day. Hope you enjoy your fast food out there. May God bless it to the nourishment of your body as best he or she can, and enjoy the remainder of your day. Thank you for joining me, and have a darn good one.